the best workout that I can possibly think of. It's a Murph. If you haven't heard of a Murph before, it is 1 mile, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, run another mile. And those squats are just the bodyweight air squats. Now, this Murph it's not only good for muscle building and cardiovascular strength, it's also good just for I found testosterone. I feel that after I do one of these workouts, my testosterone feels much higher for days on end. And I highly recommend you do these Murphs with a friend. And I had a personal experience with this. Me and 2 other friends, we left at 6 in the morning, and so it's pitch black out, and we did our Murph, or I think it was a half Murph. We did our half Murph, and then for probably 4 days after that, my testosterone levels fell through the roof. So I highly recommend you do this with at least one friend. If you can get more, that'd be great. And I do understand if it's hard to find a track that's perfect for doing a Murph. I'm fortunate enough to have one right down the street. And if you want your track to be, if you do find one, 1 mile to a pull-up bar, and then 1 mile back. Now, if you can't do a full Murph, or if you want to train to get up to a full Murph, you can do what I call half Murphs. So a half Murph is just everything but divided by 2. So you can either run a half mile, 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 150 squats, and then another half mile. Or you can do the slightly easier version where you run a mile, do all those exercises, and then you're done. If you want to make the harder version, would be the first one with half mile, then half mile. And then if you're getting really good at that one, you can do a 3/4 Murph, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but just take all the values, so it's 3/4 mile, 3/4 mile for both sides. And then take all your exercises, divided by 0.75, you'll get your answer. And I also highly recommend you do this in sets. So for a half Murph, you have 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, and 150 squats. So you divide that into, is it 10 sets? Yeah, 10 sets of 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. 10 times those numbers gets you all the way to what you need. So now that you know how to make it easier, how can you make a Murph harder? Let's say you're getting really good at doing full Murphs. You can do it every other day if you have that time. What the traditional Murph is actually worn with a 20-pound weighted vest. Now, I personally have not attempted this, but I will be attempting it soon. And yeah, that's how you make your full Murphs even harder. Now, how often can you do this workout? I personally think 1 time a week is pretty sufficient enough. But I'm sure you've seen these videos of people who do it every day for a month, or every other day. And you can do that. I've found that the body will adapt to these exercises very well, so that you're only slightly sore the next day. So your body will adapt surprisingly well. I've noticed that my quad endurance has gotten absolutely crazy. So my quads don't really get sore anymore after a leg day, even if I push it really hard, just because of how many of those squats I've done. So your quad endurance is just going to get crazy. So benefits: testosterone, quad endurance, just overall strength. I highly recommend you do this workout. And the dedicated day, the traditional day to actually do this workout, is Memorial Day. Or let me check my calendar. Or for this year, May 27th. That is Memorial Day. It's on a Monday. And most schools, they take Memorial Day off. So I highly recommend on that day, or beforehand, go do a Murph with your friends. That's your action step. go to a Murph with at least one friend, or a half Murph, your choice.